Hello, hi everyone. Good evening. Welcome to our Lunch Actually webinar. How are you? Thanks for joining us again. So are there any newcomers here? If you are joining our webinar for the first time, type first in the chat to let me know that you are new. Hello, hi Lau, hi Marco, hi Nicholas, welcome. Well, quite a lot of newcomers, huh? Hi, hello, hi Ashley, hi Albert. Nice to meet everyone. Thanks for putting up your chats. Let's keep this chat busy during this time. Welcome everyone. So good to have you with us. Our webinars is not like webinars where you come here and just hear us speak lah. So we'd like everyone engaging, talk to us to our chat box, ask us questions, share your comments, your thoughts. I want to hear more from all of you guys during this webinar as well. And of course, there will be polls where you can take part. And there'll be a Q&A session where we'll be posting our questions for our experts tonight. So the first poll, I want to know, how did you guys hear about our webinar tonight? So you hold on, I'm just going to launch our first poll. Okay, so come on guys, answer for me. How do you hear about our webinar tonight? Okay, I have, wow. Lunch Actually emailer is shooting up at 75%. Okay, mostly from our Lunch Actually mailer that is coming through. That's great to hear. We have some Facebook friends, Instagram friends. What is others though? If you click others for our poll, put in our chat, where you heard about our webinars from. Referred by friend a little bit more. Okay, good to know. People ask me already so quickly, where is our lovely Violet Lim? So I'm here today. I'll talk more about what happened. Actually, Violet, unfortunately, our favorite host is not able to join us today. So I'm here to moderate today's topic for all of you guys. Please give me some love, give me some support while I'm doing this for the first time. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. That's good, that everyone is coming through our emailer. Do let us know where, these others are coming from so that we can actually maybe get more new, I would say, participants, from this channel. Okay, so thanks for participating in our first poll. It's tonight we really have special guests right now and I can't wait to invite them. So before we start, I just want to do a quick introduction of myself, because you all know Violet, but nobody knows me. So my name is Rose and I'm the country head of Singapore. I have been in this industry for about 10 years now. So unfortunately, Violet, and our chief cupid, our favorite host, our 大姐, is not able to join us today. So please, be patient with me, show me some love, show our guests some love while we take you guys through our topic today. So Lunch Actually has locations in 5 countries across Southeast Asia, and we believe in helping our clients, be the right one, meet the right one, and choose the right one. So our services include personalized matching, date and image coaching, and also at the same time, we have created our own app Lunch Actually to support our clients on this journey as well. Yeah, so this is some of our services lah. Okay, so for tonight's webinar, we'll be talking about dating etiquette. Okay, interesting, right? So what comes to your mind when you hear about dating etiquette? Okay, type in the chat to tell us, what does dating etiquette mean to you? Okay, looking at the chats. Hello, everyone. Being punctual is a dating etiquette. Okay, thanks, Deborah. How to date with manners, table manners, being well-dressed, doing research on your date. Yes. Dressing right, how to behave. Definitely all of these things are related as well. So for tonight's webinar, we'll be talking about dating etiquette, and we'll be hearing from our special guests, style architects Violet Chan and Joy Tan. They are from the Style Atelier, and let's all give them the Lunch Actually welcome. Please welcome Joy and Violet in our chat right now. Say hello. Okay, so Violet and Joy, maybe you want to start with a quick introduction about what you do and what your company is about.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Rose, for that wonderful introduction. Just allow me to start my slide right now. Yes, and the Lunch Actually family, it's such a joy to meet with all of you. It's indeed my pleasure today to be here to meet you and to share with you more about dating etiquette. So just a very quick introduction about me. My name is Joy. I am a fellow single like yourself. So I'm really excited to, come up here to share with you, our fabulous singlehood journey, right? And how we can make it better, date better, and be the best versions of ourselves. So I run this the Style Atelier together with my fabulous and gorgeous partner, Violet. And what we do at the Style Atelier, essentially, we are experts of style. So we develop our coaching through this specialized program of what we call Style 360, delving into the ABCs of what style is in areas related to appearance, behavior, and communication to help our clients put their best face forward. So we do a lot of corporate coaching. So these are some of the international companies that we have coached in. We also train extensively in schools, and we are also often featured in media, to share our expert viewpoints on style, etc. And as you can see, these are some of the various outreach to publics that we have done in Singapore, coaching, consumers about good style and how that enhances their lifestyle. And also my business in Singapore is also a Skills Future training organization. So we have our own flagship programs, which Singaporeans can join using their Skills Future credits. All right, so that was just a very quick introduction about myself, Violet, and what we do at the Style Atelier. But today it is really all about you. I want to share with you some simple dating etiquette tips that you can readily use to make your dating experience a whole lot better one. Now, so as all of you have seen in the promotional pamphlet, right? Okay, we're going to talk about what is one surprising mistakes that many singles make that they don't expect. Well, at this point, I'd like you to put in your answer into the chat. What do you think is one mistake that singles usually make at dating that they don't realize? Okay, can you maybe type your answers into the chat? And then we can see Oh, talking about your ex. I know, right? Yeah. Okay, playing hard to get. Thank you, Hui Min. Kylie says, too quiet. Charlie, yes, on looks, yes, possible. Talking about work. Okay, talk too much. Eileen says, eat too loudly. I know. Okay, yeah, like poor teeth, oral hygiene, blah, blah. Yes, yeah, being awkward. Yeah. Wow, I can tell everyone is an expert here. Okay, when we ask them, hey, what's the mistake you guys made? Okay, but anyways, you are absolutely spot on. Okay, you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for your participation. I really appreciate that. Well, actually, right, in my opinion, what is one mistake that many singles make that they don't expect is simply going into the date with the wrong mindset. What do I mean by that? Many people go into a date thinking that they will attract what they want. But essentially, in reality, we attract who we are. So, like some people, they go into dating with, like a checklist, right? And then when you're out on the first date, you feel like you're in an interrogation room, okay? Because, they are like the police is like, when do you graduate? What do you graduate with? What's your first job? What's your salary, etc. Yes. Yeah, thinking that by ticking off all the check boxes, they have found the one. But of course, all of us know that real life is a lot more complicating than that. And if we really want to attract that best person in our life, first thing first, we need to first be the best version of ourselves, right? Yes? Yeah. So In order for us to be the best version of ourselves, then what is very important, therefore, is for us to practice etiquette in dating situation. So exactly what etiquette is. Etiquette is the power that fuels our relationships by helping us to know what to do in situations and what we can expect others to do. It's a set of guidelines that sketch out the appropriate actions, appearance, and words to help us to build successful relationships. Generally speaking, what it does is that it reduces awkwardness. And because you know what to expect on a date, and the other person, knows as well what to expect on a date, you can find that the social interactions move along more smoothly. There is a mutual understanding, and generally the experience of connection just becomes so much more enhanced when we are being the best versions of ourselves by practicing etiquette. Now, I understand when we talk about etiquette, especially in year like 2022, many people are resistant. They think to themselves like, this is such a, old concept, right? Why are we talking about this? Or, very often some of our clients would say like, but I'm not comfortable doing that. That is not me. Okay, so what I want to stress, right, as an etiquette coach, is that etiquette is not about putting on airs. It's not about playing games, betraying yourself, or, refusing your authenticity. In fact, right, actually by observing guidelines of behavior to serve the common good of whoever that you are with in that situation, is actually a great practice of showing your graciousness and generosity as a person. So with that in mind, now that we all know that etiquette is important and it really helps us to be charming and wooing in a dating situation, what then do we need to take note of? Okay, I would like to share with all of us, okay, what I consider to be the ABCs of dating etiquette through style. Okay, so how do we turn this on? Let's look at number one, A, appearance. All right, so turn on, okay, for your date when you are out dating, meeting a new person, is really taking care of your appearance. All right, if you don't believe what I'm saying, we are going to do a poll now. Okay, right now I'm going to show you some images and then I'd like you to answer. But first thing first, the test is for the ladies. All right, so ladies, I want to hear from you. Okay, imagine that this is lunch actually swiping. There's two men, A and B. You can only choose to date one. Who would you date? I want to hear from all the ladies. Okay, tell me in the chat. Wow. Okay, B
Wow.
is really popular.
Joy, your option B is too handsome lah.
Yes, okay. Wow, all the ladies are like, beep, 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 beep. Okay, yeah. Zipa is like, reality is cruel. Okay, Deborah is so sweet. Okay, Reina will give A a chance. That's wonderful. Okay, so for all of you who have made your decision, your dating decision, can you type into the chat group your reason for choosing A or B? Yes. Okay, Mercy says groom equals to self-respect. Absolutely. Okay. Yes, B is well-groomed, nice smile, appearance, smile and, hairstyle, sunny and great looking, refreshing and pleasant. Oh my God, B is blushing right now on my screen. Yes. So, well, guys, look at it for yourself, okay? So as you can tell, being well-groomed is so important. Now, I can imagine at this point on the other side of the screen, I would have some men who are like rolling their eyes and like, yeah, he's good looking, what, kind of thing. But what I want to tell you is, even if you're not born, looking like George Clooney, no problem. You can still be soft and confident. Check this out. Can you guys tell that the guy on the left and right is actually the same person? Except that the guy on the right has just been given a makeover, just looking more groomed, looking more sharp, etc. Now, ladies, going back to our female cam, yeah, power to the ladies. Can you type into the chat if the guy show up as the guy on your right, the one in the blue denim jacket? How many of you would give him a chance and date him? Okay. Wow, Charlie says massive difference. Yes. Okay, our ladies are so sweet and kind and generous. Okay, so once the guy spruces himself up, you know, everyone says like, yes, he got chance, yeah, full marks, yes, etc. That is wonderful. So guys, what is the point? The point is ladies out there are not really looking to marry George Clooney. Although, I mean, if he would marry me, no chance already lah, but if he would, can consider. Yes, but having said that, women just want men who are confident, assured, and look like they take care of themselves, which I think is what everyone can do, you know, regardless of how we look. Okay, looking good. Okay, so at this point, guys, don't log off, okay? Because yeah, the next question is for you. Okay, fingers ready? Okay, crack your knuckles. All right. Okay, so if you were to look at this picture, A and B, gentlemen, you only have the choice to date one lady. Who would you date? Okay, wow, all the guys got cracking. All right. Okay, majority says A. All right. Okay. Yes. Okay, so wonderful. All right, those of you who type A, and B, can I trouble you to type into the chat your reasons, please, for wanting to date A or B? Thank you. Oh, sweet smile. Okay, thank you, Alan. All right, pleasant, natural beauty. Oh, A is pretty, how sweet. Okay, nice, natural beauty. She's hot, stylish, sophisticated. Absolutely. Yes. So everyone, imagine you are your own walking signboard. When you walk out groomed and confident, imagine what's popping in people's mind. When you go to office, you step into the elevator, people look at you and you think, wow, you know, this is how you look. And like, you know, oh, this girl is stylish, this girl is confident, etc. Doesn't it give us incentive as ladies to groom ourselves better, to take care of ourselves so that, you know, we can be more pleasant for not just our dates, but, you know, in all our social interactions. All right. Okay, however, if, all right, you feel like you are not born looking like Megan Fox, don't worry, help is on the way, okay? So if you can see, this is the styling that Violet and I did for our friend City. And our point to make is that you don't need to be born like Megan Fox. But if you put in the right effort and care, you can still bring out your personal X factor and look attractive and pleasant. And this is, you know, the makeover that we done for another of our friend Attica. So you can see the difference, right? Okay, just by highlighting her natural beauty, it doesn't need to look like fake, unnatural, etc. But you can see Attica's presence and attractiveness is so much more enhanced. And this is also another makeover that we did for our friend Linda. And once again, okay, if Linda were this the same Linda essentially, but which of her looks more confident? Obviously, is the one on the right. Okay, so right, and guess what? If by now you are not convinced that, you know, it is actually very important, okay, for us to groom ourselves before we go for a date, guess what? Our hypothesis is actually supported by science. So according to scientific research, they found out that, you know, when we look at beautiful things, it actually set off the brain's reward center. It gives us biochemical rewards that actually induces feelings of like and want, okay? That helps to enhance the feelings of human attachment and bonding, all right? So the thing is, if you want to turn on your partner during a date, all right, subtly, what is the best thing you can do without even saying a single word? Is to look beautiful for him or her, all right? Because science have already shown us that, you know, people are turned on by beauty. So if you look good, you feel confident, you naturally exude the aura, and people just want more of that. All right. Okay. So remember that people will stare, make it worth their while. All right, moving on then to the second subtle tip, which is behavior. Okay, suppose that, you know, you already look fabulous, right? But surely you also need to be on your best behavior. And I mean, like, I believe that all of you will concur with me that in modern dating, most of the dating scenarios revolve around food. For example, when you meet the person for the first time, I don't think you will say like, hey, let's meet at a car park. Let's meet at some secluded corner. Okay, that'd be too scary. The person might call the police on you, okay? But I believe 99% of the people out there, you'll be like, hey, shall we meet over lunch? Shall we meet over drinks? Shall we meet over dinner? So food, our interaction with food becomes just as important as our interaction with our date, right? So if you don't dine well, chances is it becomes an obstacle between you and your date. Because, for example, people are just turned off by, if you eat, say, with mouth open, or let's say, like, when you eat, you chew your food, you throw your bones all over the place, etc. So with that in mind, I would like to test all of you guys a little bit on dining etiquette to see how much you know, all right? Okay, so all of you imagine, okay, your date brings you out to this restaurant, all right? And then food is going to be served to you shortly. And you look down, you see this is what is displayed on your table. Everyone, can you tell me how many course meal will you be served based on what you see in this image? Can you type into the chat group, please? Okay, very good. Okay, so most of you say 2 or 3. Okay, 4, all right. Okay, yes, okay. All right, everyone, actually, the answer is 2-course meals. Okay, and how can we tell from this picture? Now, based on this picture, you can see that on your top left-hand corner, you can expect bread to be served, but bread, strictly speaking, is not considered a course of the meal. But just by judging by the cutleries, you can tell that, okay, your first course is likely to be an appetizer, which you can slice, or if not, actually a salad, all right? And then followed by another main course, which is very likely chicken because you don't see a steak knife that is served, okay? Now, everyone, if you look at the drinks, okay, by looking at the glasses served, can you make a guess what will be served as drinks? Can you type into the chat, please? Okay, wine, water, okay, sky juice as well, okay, tea, all right. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, everyone. Okay, very likely, judging by the glasses, okay, we can expect wine to be served. All right. Okay. Yes, and possibly water as well. We cannot see the glasses clearly. One of them could be a water goblet, but certainly at least one of it has to be a wine glass. Now, then the next question is, would it be white wine that is served or red wine that is served, you think, based on what is displayed on the image? I really, really love this group. Everyone is so enthusiastic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay. Wow, wonderful. I saw someone write white wine because there's chicken. Oh, okay. What a connoisseur. Okay, lovely. Okay, that is absolutely wonderful. And Tracy says, depends on what you order. Absolutely. Okay. So yes, Angie says white wine pairs with chicken. Absolutely. How wonderful, everyone. So as you can see, therefore, knowing, okay, how to read the table literally can save you a lot of from a lot of social faux pas, a lot of awkward situations, right? Like say, for example, if your date, okay, wants to have chicken chop, and then you insist on having a lobster, for example, okay, and then you'll be like, but actually my menu is chicken only, something like that. Or let's say, for example, okay, he orders white wine for you to pair with chicken, but you insist on having a bottle of red, for example. Okay, well, nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is your ability to read the table helps you to be more accommodating and be more pleasant as a date, because you know exactly what to expect you know what is happening. And if he only has, for example, budget to bring you out for a 2-course meal, you will not go there and say, wow, how generous of you, we are having 5 course today. Okay, and then you can see he looks very stiff for the rest of the night, trying to call his credit card company, like, hello, can I extend credit? No. Yes.
So
So
it's very funny.
yeah, so learning to read the table becomes an essential skill just because so much of dating, especially on a first date, happens in a restaurant. Okay? All right. So with that in mind, I want to share with you a personal story. Okay, it's a personal tale. I'm not sure how many of you recognize this place because I know not all of you are from Singapore. But those of you who recognize this place, can you type in the chat group and tell me where do you think this is? Oh, Karen. Karen says Fullerton Hotel. Yeah, Gerald says Fullerton Bay Hotel. Okay, wonderful. Right. Thank you, guys. Absolutely. Okay, so for those of you who's joining us tonight outside of Singapore, this is Fullerton Bay Hotel. Okay, one of the pretty gorgeous, swanky 5-star hotel right here in Singapore. And what you see here is the Clifford Pier, so one of its restaurants. To share a personal story, this is where I ended my last date with a very eligible gentleman. I was a lot younger then, many years ago, very much younger. And at that time, by some stroke of luck, I met this senior lawyer. So he's a Korean American working here in Singapore, and he was handsome and intelligent and very accomplished in his career. So when we met, he was obviously older than me, much more established. And he was very kind and generous towards me and really tried to give me the best. And he also is a person who loves to wine and dine. So because of him, I went to many fantastic restaurants and had many, like fabulous meals with romantic settings, etc. But then at that time, I was a lot younger. I didn't know much about dining etiquette. And to be honest, right, despite all the beautiful places and wonderful meals that he has brought me to, I was constantly stressed when I went out with him. The stress starts the moment where, the waiter comes over and asks me, ma'am, sparkling or still? And I'll be like, oh my God, like, do I want sparkling or still? And then when they laid down the cutleries, I was like, oh my God, like what cutleries do I use? And I still remember he asked me like what wine did I want to drink. And I was looking at the wine list and I couldn't decipher anything. So when I went out with him, even though he really tried, he was very generous with me, but in reality, I could not enjoy myself at all because I was not focused on making connections. I was focused on what is laid on the table. And very often, it just becomes exceedingly awkward. I was very stressed. I couldn't make good conversations. And not long later, after a few meetings, right, he politely just kind of decline meeting up anymore, saying that we are not really forming a connection. But all in all, he was definitely a fabulous gentleman. And actually, that episode of my life, right, gave me an opportunity for epiphany. Because to be very honest, right, he was a little bit like the setting was a little bit like a romantic fairy tale came true. However, what I did realize was the socially awkward, unsavvy me was not able to hold on to a prince even when fairy tale became true for me. Why? Because I was not ready to receive that into my life. So after that, I thought about it. If I'm really looking for a fairy tale romance, looking for a prince, now that a prince has come knocking, but I'm not ready to be the princess. So I decided to develop myself. I went to delve into etiquette learning, and then even grooming learning. And not so much for him, but rather to be the best version of myself, I also took up wine courses, similar to those that actually professional sommelier goes to. And through that experience, right, I felt like I grew so much more as a person. I can say that I am definitely more savvy now. And now that I am older, I am also more confident to handle social interactions. And what is even better out of this is when I started learning about all these things, of course, I still love my, fried chicken and Coke. But the point is, throw me into any, like restaurants, etc. I still feel confident and savvy enough to hold any conversations and to navigate the situation. And more importantly, Violet and I actually made a business out of it, okay, with the Style Atelier. So the point that I'd like to share with all of us is because dating today, okay, dining is so integral to dating today, learn to dine well so that you can focus on working the table and not what's on the table. Okay, so that you can actually focus on making genuine connections and not being stressed unnecessarily, okay, by what could be seen as cumbersome, dining etiquette. When in actuality, when you really start learning about it, you realize that actually the art of dining etiquette is really all about enhancing relationships. Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. So moving on to my last point, ABC. So A, we talk about the importance of appearance as a subtle turn on. And B, we talk about behavior. Someone who dines with finesse, someone who dines savvy. You are actually taking a huge stumbling block out of the way because in modern dating, so much of that happens over food. All right. And finally, when it comes to C, I would like to refer to it as communication. Okay, if you're able to communicate well, if you use your words well, you know that you can work your charm effortlessly. And so, how do we do that? Okay, let me move on to my next slide. Okay, and my tip for all of us is to focus on making connections, not transactions. Okay, so what are transactional conversations? All right. Transactional people who make transactional conversations, they like to ask questions that focuses on yes or no answers. For example, so did you divorce because you cheated? Okay. Or they ask questions, okay, that focus on receiving information, not feelings or opinions. For example, how much do you earn? What is your salary? Okay. Or they ask questions to validate their own viewpoint. Okay. So you are single at 40. What do you think is your problem? Okay, which by the way, was really asked to me, ironically, by another single. So, right. Okay. Or in a conversation, they focus on judgment. Okay. I am wary of beautiful women. Men who are smooth talkers are usually unreliable, right? Okay, so if you were to have a first date where people ask you questions like, did you end your previous relationship because you cheated? What is your salary? Why are you single? What do you think is your problem? I'm very wary of, singles who are older, Okay, everyone, type into the chat group. How does that make you feel if you receive all these questions? Yeah, Charlie is so funny. Charlie says, report them to the police immediately. Yeah, I think so. Or put them on Stomp, somebody needs to take a video of this. Them annoyed, feel so judged, pissed off, okay, etc. Avoid them, we'll just leave. Okay, call ambulance. That's so funny. Yes, okay, all right. Become defensive, feeling offended, call ambulance. Being interrogated. Thank you guys. You guys are so fabulous. Okay, so as all of you can tell, right? Okay, I'm sure that some of us have the experience of actually meeting people who go into the first date like as if it's an interrogation session. It's almost like they have a mental checklist, mental Excel sheet of 20 points that they want in a partner. And then, they are just like going on like one by one, expecting you to give an answer. And the moment that you say something that doesn't fit into their worldview, or their check boxes, they immediately shut down on you, right? So the thing is, these are exactly what we call transactional conversations. It's almost like I'm out on a first date. I have only precious 2 hours of my time. And now get straight to business. Okay, let's transact. And usually, as you can tell from the chat group, it makes people extremely uncomfortable, pissed off. And honestly, even if you have actually met the right person in your life, by pissing off that person like this in your first, 2 hours of interaction, it is very difficult for you to continue on the next date. All right. So instead of focusing on transactional conversations, what kind of conversation should we focus on? We should make use of conversational techniques that help us to build and not tear down connections. Okay, so what are conversation techniques that actually help us to build connections? Number one, focus on open-ended questions. For example, instead of asking that person, so did you cheat because did you divorce because you cheat? Ask questions like, how do you feel after your divorce? In like a sincere, caring tone. Okay, and instead of prying for information, focus on receiving feelings or opinions. What satisfaction does your job bring you? And not just like, what's your position? When's your last promotion? What is your salary? Does your company give you 13-month and 5-month bonus? Because mine does. And then you'll be like, can I apply? Are you HR? Right? Okay. So asking people what satisfaction does it bring you? Are you happy in your job? What do you like about it? Right? Focus on actually understanding the person, receiving feelings and or opinions, or asking questions in a way that encourage sharing of personal viewpoint, not yours, but the other person's. All right. For example, instead of saying, why are you single? What is your problem? Right? You can ask, what is your experience of being single like? Okay. And instead of being demanding and transactional in tone, all right, be appreciative. Okay. So, for example, you are a beautiful person within and without. I really enjoy talking to you. So imagine if you go out on a first date and the conversation, you talk about a myriad of things, and then your date says, yeah, so I understand that you're divorced, but how do you feel, after it? Are you all right? What satisfaction does your job bring you? I know you work in this position. It's so interesting. Yeah, I understand that you have been single for some years now. What is your experience like? How do you find dating so far? Yeah, I really appreciate, everything that you have shared with me. Like from what you say, I can really feel like you are a beautiful person within and without. So thank you. And I really do enjoy talking to you. So if you're out on a first date and the person speaks to you like that, how does that make you feel? Okay. How many of you will actually want to see the person again? Yeah, like Song gave me a big smiley face. Okay. Yes. Wonderful. Okay. Diana, thumbs up. Thank you. All right. Yes. Okay. And you see, right, immediately, you actually evoke such good responses, right, from the person that you're speaking to. So what is wonderful, right, is that you can see that in the transactional, conversations versus connecting conversations technique is that actually the subject matters are all the same. We are still talking about divorce, talking about being single, talking about jobs, okay? However, just by tweaking the way we phrase the question, it elicits such a different emotional response from the other person. In the former, when you practice transactional conversation techniques, you cause the person to shut down, be hurt, and very likely hurt you back. Because hurt people, right? Okay. So if you talk to the person in a transactional way, what is your salary? The person will be like, what has it got to do with you? Do you really have to ask about money in the first date? Are you a gold digger? Right? And then after that, you feel hurt. why did he call me a gold digger? You know what I mean? When actually, seriously, sometimes when we use the wrong words, we ask for it, right? We actually ask for retaliation, okay? However, when we switch our wording technique to use words that build connection, you can still ask all the things that you want to know, actually, about the person's career, about the person's relationship, about how the person feels towards singlehood and dating, but yet in a manner that invites genuine, open sharing, and more likely gives you a better sense, okay, of who the person is and help you to discern if the person is the right one for you. All right. Okay, so these are the tips, communication tips, which I have for you. All right, so remember that building relationships is not about transactions, it's all about connections. Okay, so practice conversation techniques that build, not tear down, which means that you should try to use conversation words that connect and not transact. All right, remember that. Okay, so I have come to the end of my sharing, which is the ABCs, okay, of subtle turn-ons, okay, to make your first date successful. Now it is time for all of us singles to manifest, okay? Now, when you think about the ideal person that you want, okay, remember that to attract that person into your life, you first need to be it. If you want to have an open-hearted, genuine partner, you first need to unlock your heart and be open as well. If you want a partner that you can have fun with, who is interesting, who is savvy, who knows how to charm you, you must first be willing to charm. You must first be interesting so that you guys can enjoy play together. So the thing is, right, a lot of times in our dating journey, we focus a lot on what we want. And sometimes we hold on to a mental checklist so tightly that, we forget that to attract what we want, the most important thing is to become it. And when we become it, like attracts like, and you will find that your journey becomes so much easier. So on that note, all right, as I was sharing with you earlier, if you feel like you are not your best self yet, guess what? Fact of life, we are constantly growing. There is no such thing as perfection in life. There is only work in progress. Because at every juncture of our life, we are constantly growing through different challenges. And the beautiful thing about life is we can fail, we can improve, and we can pick ourselves up again. So just as I shared with you the story of the dating setback that I encountered, the epiphany helped me in so much more ways. I might have lost a date. I found a career through it. I found the will and the mission to help other people to also discover their best self. And more importantly, I also grew as a person and became more confident. So for yourself, okay, how do you wish to grow? At the Style Atelier, the wonderful thing is we have different kind of niche programs to work with our participants in depth on the areas that they need to help them discover their best self. Now, but today is not about that. It's about me sharing the 3 tips with you. But I just want to encourage all of us to look into the various aspects that you feel you can be a better version of and really start working on that, because learning is very fun. Now, coming to the end of it, right, there is something that I want all of you to do before we move into the Q&A segment, because this is something that we can do in tandem. Okay, that is, first of all, I would love to connect with you. So, via Instagram. So my handle is Joy Oleander. I look forward to see you there. My partner is Violet Chan Si-wan. And of course, you can also follow our official account at The Style Atelier. And also, tonight only, we want to extend a free membership to all of you who have participated in this forum. All you need to do, right, is to scan in the QR code, and the membership is absolutely free. All right, it's just a way for us to keep in touch with you, and to invite you to our exclusive programs. And more importantly, for those of you who sign up tonight, we have this special draw whereby we are giving away one hamper of Estee Lauder products worth SGD $200. So for those of you who's not in Singapore, that is about USD, about $130, $140 worth, as well as one hamper of Kiehl's products worth about $200 to one lucky guy and one lucky girl who sign up. So as we go into the Q&A segment, I'd like for you to whip out your phones and then put in your QR code and connect with me over IG. And then, yes, I hope to, connect with you more deeply through those platforms. All right. So thank you.
Right. Thanks, Joy, so much for all that helpful advice. I hope everyone is paying attention and taking notes of our ABCs, when it comes to our dating journeys, right? These are things that we've been talking about throughout all of our webinars, to work with our clients just on that one step or one building block to getting attached, right? So
Absolutely.
I do see that we have a lot of questions, on the chat. We do have some time for Q&A, and I'm sure all of you love this part. So let's start posting our questions in the Q&A box. So
Yeah.
I will pick a few questions that might be interesting for Joy and Violet to answer today. Okay, come on, ask our questions in the Q&A box. We did have an earlier question, at the start of the webinar. So either, Joy or Violet could take these questions. So Karen, has asked us, will guys think that a lady who is sophisticated, who on first impression is elegant, will they think that these ladies will come across as high maintenance, and that might mean more fear when it comes to dating?
All right. So, for that response, I would say, girls, be confident of your worth. Know your worth, believe in your worth, and be confident of your worth. If you are going out with a guy and a guy says that, you need to be lesser than me, or, I feel like you are too good than me, etc., then my honest advice is moved on to the next one. There's a reason why we come to lunch, actually, because the professionals here, they have so many matches, okay, and can definitely help you to find the right one with the right profiling, etc. So don't worry, there are many fishes in the sea, okay? But the most important thing is your first priority in life is to make yourself happy first. And I'm not even saying this from a selfish perspective, because if you are unhappy, if you don't love yourself, it's impossible for you to make other people happy and and to love other people. And
absolutely,
that is the truth. So the thing is, don't court a relationship that cannot give you that, therefore. Because if you feel constantly unfulfilled, you feel like, you are always stepping on toes when you try to be better, or you feel like you need to reduce yourself, then I'll say, girl, there are many other fishes out there. Go look for another one that will make you happier.
Yes, I like to tell my clients that your life partner should be someone who supports you, who helps you grow, and someone who encourages you being you, right? I totally agree with what you said, Joy. We have another question from Lynn. So how do you handle personal questions on how much we earn and whether we own any property? So for example, I go on a date and then the person asks me, hey, actually, how much you earn? Do you live in a HDB? Do you stay in a private property? How would you handle these questions?
First of all, right, I need to gauge the person's intention. Because, for example, if the guy is sending me home, I better tell him where I stay, right? I'm not going to be in a car. It's like, where do you stay? And then I'm like, you're asking me to no, I want to go home and save my bread, you know what I mean? I think, first of all, intention is very important. But let's assume that the person is not asking from how should I explain it? It's asking not because of genuine reasons, so to speak. It's trying to put you in a spot, right? Actually, I will just be honest and tell the person, say that, I appreciate your question, but this is not something I feel like divulging at this point because I don't think we are that close in a relationship. However, as we grow together as a partner, I'll be happy to share with you. And there is one important thing that I want to share with all singles out there. That is, do not, never ever feel obliged that you need to say everything. That is one mistake that I used to make as well. All right. So some people feel like honesty is the best policy and it pours out everything. Well, I mean, definitely we want to be honest. Don't get me wrong. We want to be authentic and show up as our best self. But the important thing is some information are privileged. Some information are privileged and only intended for people who deserve that privilege. So if you don't feel like you are at a dating level whereby that person has earned that privilege by showing either commitment, willingness to work at a relationship, willingness to be equally vulnerable, why do you have to overshare? There's no need to.
Yes, I like that perspective, Joy. Thinking that information is and a privilege is not something that I just share freely with everyone or something that everyone deserves to know. I like that. We talk about in lunch actually we talk about emotional bank account. On the first impression, we want to deposit positive numbers into this bank account until we are able to be honest. That's when, of course, maybe we deduct a little bit when certain flaws come up lah.
Yes.
right. So those are definitely very relatable. I hope that answered the question as well. Lean, thanks for actually asking that question. So we also have another question on the ground. So this is more towards what happens during a conversation, or how do I respond when the responses from the other party gets negative or argumentative? So I'm on a date, and maybe I do try to ask about, how do you feel about your job? How satisfied are you about your jobs? I do all the right things of the ABC, and then the other party is getting defensive, and I say, hey, why you ask me this kind of things? No, I don't agree with this. I feel that people shouldn't be like this. How would you handle this conversation?
Mm-hmm. Okay, honestly, right, I think first of all, if you demonstrate, if you really ask in an appreciative and encouraging manner, most of the time, people will not really act up at you lah, because people love talking about themselves, right? If I demonstrate interest in the guy and I say, so would you like to tell me more? Well, most people will be quite happy to rattle off lah. But Rose, I completely hear you. Who knows, right? Sometimes maybe, we meet with, in Singapore, we call asiao, right? So what should we do? I think first of all, okay, is to realize that, this is one tip that I have for you to help you diffuse conflict and not escalate it. Okay, so let's say if you unwittingly got caught into an uncomfortable conflict situation, okay, the first thing first is to demonstrate empathy. All right, and a very, very powerful phrase to shut the person up if the person will not stop being negative. Okay, like some people, like maybe they got into the zone already, then they and then they just keep barking away, right? So how do you get them to pause? It's not to tell them, stop, I don't want to listen. Or why are you so crazy? Okay, because trust me, you're going to escalate it and the person is going to get crazier. Okay, the 3 golden words to remember is, you are right. So if the person goes on like, why did the waitress do this? You were so rude. We're supposed to have the table, but then they never extend for us, blah 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 blah. And then to shut the person up, just turn to the person and say, you are right. I see your point of view. I know why you're upset. But actually, so this is a way for you to interject, because once they hear you are right, they feel affirmative. And then, okay, out of any conflict, there must be some truth to either one of the party, whatever they are saying, even though sometimes the truth hurts. So affirm the person, empathize with the point that the person you feel spoke some truth on, And then after that, once you've got the person's ears open, then bring in your point. You are right. I think the waitress could have approached the matter, with more courtesy. But the truth is, we also came to a reservation late. So that's why they cannot extend the table for us. But don't worry, after this, I'll bring you out for drinks elsewhere, and it's going to be a surprise for you. So
yeah, you really move it from a negative situation to a positive situation. That's great. I like the three, important words, guys. I mean, really, gentlemen, ladies, let's take away from this. You are right. Even working with our work colleagues, and also networking events, definitely if there is conflict, say, oh, look, you are right. Let's agree to disagree, and then we try to divert it to a more positive attitude as well. But thanks everyone. Actually, there are more questions. I know everybody would like to ask more questions, but because of time, unfortunately, we would really like everyone to maybe send in our questions at love@lunchactually.com, so we can actually respond to more of these questions that come in through as well. I do hope that everyone has taken away these tips, and thank you everyone for your participation during this time. Joy had a lovely time. I'm sure, Joy, you had a great time with the responses and the participation from our webinar participants.
Yes, most definitely. So everyone, okay, I saw that in your Q&A, right? You have so many good questions.
Yes. So, but really, at this point,
yes. Don't worry, I understand. So, okay, those of you, thank you so much, for bringing out the questions. I'd love to connect with you more deeply. Please sign up for our free membership so that, we can touch base with you after this thing. I believe Violet has already put in the QR code or the link, so you guys can have a look. Okay, so back to Rose.
Thank you, Joy, so much for your time. Thanks, Violet and Joy, for joining us and giving us all those advice. So, of course, do send in your questions. And as always, Lunch actually always prepares something special for all the participants here tonight. So, for tonight's webinar's gift, we are actually sharing how to build a real chemistry in dating ebook. So, from this ebook, you can actually learn more about this in detail on top of what we have shared earlier. So how do you redeem? So Christina will help me send a link. You can actually visit the link and submit your contact details to redeem the special gift. So of course, if you find our webinars useful, feel free to share this with your friends or colleagues who may benefit from our information as well. We do have our internal colleagues, to share our experiences in matchmaking with you. We do have external speakers like Violet and Joy. We do a wonderful job in, teaching us the ABCs when it comes to etiquette as well. So feel free to give us feedback, on our webinars on how we can improve this. Go to the link, redeem your free webinar gift, and of course, there's an option for you to refer your friends as well. So don't forget to sign up for our next webinar. So this will be happening on Thursday, 21st April 2020. So you can actually see more of our details in the link that Christina will be posting as well. So we really hope to see you there. And by then, Violet will be back with us. Violet that you've been looking for, our Chief Cupid will be back with us. And thank you so much, Violet and Joy, again, for joining us for our webinar. Hope everyone had fun tonight, and I hope that the tips have been helpful. So see you next time. Bye-bye.